How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for Farming Simulator 22 on the mod map Arena. And we're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads: a modern and beautiful fictional multiplayer map Arena includes seasons. This is standard size map with a unique view of beautiful wild nature, 2 lakes, farmyards, and 21 large fields around the modern Arena town. Environment is very comfortable, with space for 5 large farms, which may be used for standard agriculture, forestry, or productions. All standard features are available, including a shop, animal dealer, and points of sale. Map based on default seasonal growth plan. In addition, you will be able to buy more plots for extra placeables like production factory. There are also space for a stone crusher, and stones can be stored which are collected from the fields. The farmyards are empty and ready for new owners. You will have to build your farm the way you want. Some trees can be removed to place placeables the way that you want it. Good luck. There has been a changelog, and that is 1.1.0.0, and it says: fix swath straw and grass drop issue. Leveled bumpy roads on some other bumpy places, updated visual look of arena map, added more decoration objects, added collectibles to map, updated field prices to less, set default farmlands for default farmhouse and garage cannot be sold now, added more paintable ground types, added placeable trees and US farm buildings, added vehicles in shop and in town as decorations. In case of game FPS performance, they set to belong to Farm 8 and can be sold. Farm 8 vehicles should not be used. They set to be as decorations. Please use a career new game slot instead of save game to make it work properly. This map was created by Mikus1LTU and Pupa and is 135 megabytes to download. So if we take a look at the map, there are no required mods for this map. And if we take a look at it, this is what it looks like. And as we take a look around, the fields are relatively large, but there are some smaller ones. So you can see 62,000. You got 55,000, so I mean you can start out with some relatively decent price farms fields. 700, but they do get expensive. 748, 608, 638. This big one up here, almost over 1.4 million. Got this one, 1.37 million. 800. Yeah, so you're gonna run the pretty wide range of what is going to be. Pretty wide range of what you can expect to pay for various fields. We own farmlands number 13 and 25. You cannot purchase the entirety of the map. There are areas you're not able to purchase, such as these kind of non-darkened areas where there are no clickable areas. Let's see, if we take a look down here, there are animal pens to start out with. You do start out with a chicken coop and cow barn. There are contracts available. You do have production chains. Looks like you have a large greenhouse available. There are collectibles, as it said in the description. There are 12 of them. And then, if we look at the buy menu, there are no mods specific to this map, but we look on the build menu, if you go all the way to the paintable swatches, right here you can see there are several in addition to base game. But other than that, there's nothing else in the way of map specific mods. So you do start out here at the shop, as well as all of your starting equipment is right here at the shop. So you're going to have to transport it over to your farm. You have a repair trigger directly in front of you, and then the shop trigger right behind you. Now, I will point out there are loads of these vehicles and trailers and all sorts of stuff that are just kind of hanging out that do belong to you technically, because the way that it sounds like the map maker created this particular map is they basically allocated all these vehicles that are yours to own to a different farmland. So if you're not familiar with the online multiplayer system, if you go on to the online multiplayer, you are able to have, I believe it's up to 10 different farms. And then you can bounce around to each one of those farms, but you own only the sets of equipment that are allocated to those farms. And it's not like a physical farm, it's just a kind of ownership or property of said farm. Um, so, what it sounds like to me is that the map maker allocated all these kind of things they use as decorations, but they are realistic and you know actual equipment to farmland number 8. And you could theoretically go into a multiplayer map, start it up, assign yourself to farmland number 8, and then if you want to save on slot spaces or you want a particular set of equipment that's out there somewhere, you can just move it over to farmland number 1 and be good to go. That's going to be my guess on how it's kind of all set up, at least based on the description. I haven't tested that out. But I mean, you can see there's tons of equipment up here. I mean, you've got a telehandler, you've got this little John Deere here, you got the big Kloss, the fence, you got the what looks to be a New Holland and Baylor in the back there, another Fendt in the back there. And that's just here at the shop. There's equipment spread around all over the place, and we'll see that as we go along. But because we do have some of our starting equipment here, we're going to go ahead and take the Fendt a little bit faster. So let's see. I'm gonna just, oops, my notes are now out of place. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and leave here. And head down in this direction. Now, one thing I will say is the road network is a little narrow. So you definitely don't want to use like wide tires or even duals or anything like that, because you're gonna, have to go off the road quite often as the traffic gets pretty thick from time to time. I'll come down over here. Okay, we'll pull in right here. Off to my right, this is the lime station. Sorry, I got confused with my notes. And this is the GLW production point. Now this is just a grain mill, in all intents and purposes. Place where you take your grain crops and produce flour. You have your inputs go in here and your outputs right back there. We'll go ahead and turn around. And head out back this way. Just double back just really quick. And now we'll make a right. And then another right. Oh. Easy, easy. Oof. Okay. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned this, but $96,000 will allow you to purchase the GLW production. Should have probably done that. Over here is the sawmill. You can purchase this for $100,000, and you have your sawwood trigger here, inputs here, and your outputs right there. Also, wood chips are outputted right here. Again, we'll head back out to the main road. Make another right. Whoa! Yeah, the traffic goes at a pretty good clip around here, so make sure you're paying attention where you're going. Don't do what I just did there. And to our right, that is our starting field right there, and it's a pretty good sized field. I mean, it's definitely not definitely going to be able to get a lot of material out of that field. And our starting farm is just ahead of us on our right, and you'll see some of that decorative items that are just placed on the map, like I was mentioning earlier. That's one of them right there. So if you walk up to it, it says it's owned by you, but if you can hear me tapping the button, that's not allowing me to in there. So you've got this roller, you've got this Steyr tractor here, and just will not allow you to use it because it's not allocated to your farm. And right here, this is the starting farm. We turn in. There we go. We'll go ahead and just stop right here. So, since we're at the starting farm, let's take a look at what we actually start out with. So if we go under owned items, it's not that much. Under medium tractors, you have the New Holland T7 315 HD. And under large tractors, you have the Fendt 930 Vario. Under harvesters, you have a Case Axleflow 7150. Trailers, the AgriLiner MUK 303. And the Case 3162 TerraFlex Draper 45. This is the header with the built-in header trailer, so no need to purchase one of those. Over here is our sleep trigger. And then over in this direction is our greenhouse. And you already do start out with the weather vane, so you get the more accurate weather forecasting. Over in this direction is our repair trigger. Coming all the way out here, this is our cow barn with manure heap and a bunker silo right there. You can store up to 45 cows, and you already have 15 to start out with. You have your milk trigger right here, straw trigger right there, as you can kind of start to see a little straw animation right there. Or not animation, but you have your feed trigger right here, and you've got quite a bit of food already up for these cows. And then your slurry can be extracted right there. And if we head back in this direction, we follow this little path all the way over here. This is our chicken barn, or chicken coop. Over here, you can have up to 360 chickens, food in here, and eggs spawn here. So now we're gonna hop the hedge here, hop back in the tractor and get turned around, and there we go. Oh my goodness. I just need to adjust my notes real quick. Perfect. Actually, before we get too far, let's go ahead and take a look at where we've been, what we've seen so far. So bring up the map. We started here at the shop. Again, all of our equipment stuff can be found there, and you can see just how much stuff is actually stored right here just at the shop that doesn't belong to you. Your stuff is right here. Everything else here is not yours, or at least not allocated to you. Heading out, we came down south here. We took in the lime station and the GLW production, aka the grain mill. Came back out, swooped around over to here, and we took in the sawmill and the wood chips trigger. Came back out all the way up to here. We took in the starting farm, the sleep trigger, as well as the cow barn, the manure heap, the repair trigger, greenhouse, and chicken barn. And pulled out, and we came up to here and came to a stop. So now we'll just go ahead and keep on going, cutting through the kind of foresty, hilly area up in the north. Come around the corner here. Then a right. And then coming up here on our left is our next points of interest. And you can, oops, yeah, you can see over here. I feel like I went the wrong way. No, I didn't. Okay. Yep, I'm good. So directly in front of me is another grain mill called the Strag Lager Production. This is for $96,000. You can make it yours. Again, it's just a grain mill. It allows you to take your standard grain crops and make them into flour. Inputs here, outputs right over there, and your lime station, just a buy point for lime. You can hit that right there. And now we're gonna double back real quick, head over here. I just saw something here. I don't think I noticed this in my original walkthrough. So you have a dairy right here, but it's on property you cannot purchase, and it's not anything that you can actually do anything with. So I don't know if it's meant to be an actual functioning dairy and might be an issue with the map. I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep on going. Or there might have been a dairy later. It might just been decoration then. Anyways, heading up to the next point of interest. It's directly off to our right. Again, more decoration here in the yard. First, you see the gas station, and then back here. Let's see. Sorry, I looked at the wrong bits of my notes. Over here, there it is. So, gas station, refill your diesel. Over here is the electrical charge point. Again, more decoration equipment. It is yours. It is real. And the only problem with having the decoration like that, to where it's technically yours, it's just not allocated to your use, is that it's taking up slots. So for console players, that can be an issue. And one thing I didn't bother showing is just how many slots you're actually using. So right now, with just these bits of equipment that you have access to, you're actually using up something like 1,050 slots. When in reality, if you were to go in and do that little thing that I was saying, and get rid of all the extra bits and tractors and stuff that's being used for decoration, your slot count's going to come way down. Way, way down. So coming up here to our right is the biogas. You can see right there is another line buying station right up front. And this will leave us a good opportunity to take a look at the map because you have to purchase this through the map. So we were up here, came around down to here, and we took in the Strag Logger Production, saw the line buying station as well. Oh wait, I did not show the additional sell point right there. Can I jump to this? Oh, helped if I was in the right screen. There we go. Over here, sorry, this is the Production Expo sell point. There we go. Then we came back out to here, and we saw the gas station as well as the electrical charging station. We came out to here, up to this point, we saw the lime station, and now we're at farmland number 21, and it can be purchased for $677,000. Once you do, all the triggers pop up and they're all over here. So if we take a look, you have your solids inputs right here. Your trigger for managing the biogas plant will be right here. Your liquid inputs is right here. And your liquid outputs, aka digestate, is right over here. Three large bunker silos right directly in front of us. Plenty of storage at this biogas plant, so you could store a bunch of equipment up here if you want. Now we are going to backtrack just ever so slightly up to this first kind of dirt road, or dirt path I should say. Right here. And we'll just keep heading directly south until we reach our next point of interest. Okay. If we pull in here, around the backside here without hitting people, right here is the animal dealer sell point. And then around the front side here, right tucked in back there, is the animal dealer trigger. And from there you can actually load into any barns or pastures that you have. Why? I had this working. Oh, right here. There we go. You can load into any pastures or barns that you have available on your map already, or you can bring a trailer here and load directly into it and save any delivery fees associated to just loading directly from those spawn points. Over to our right is another lime buying station, lime station. And ahead of us, this is the spinnery. Come over here, purchase this for $60,000. You have your inputs and outputs right here. I'm sorry, inputs are right here, outputs are over here. Kind of gets a little tight back here, but got a little exit right here. There we go. And coming up on our next points of interest, just down here, pull in here. This is the supermarket sell point. And we can come around the back side here, pull right back out to the main road. And then make a right. Where we have another gas station right here. And another electrical charging station right there. And that is it. That is the map. Now is opinion time. What I think of this map. 0 to 5 scale as always. And I would give this map probably a 3. There's little things here and there that I can't say bother me, but just the decorations are certainly one of them. Having to know and go into a separate game mode after loading up this map and try and free up some space if it's that big of an issue. And I understand why they did it. They did it to where you get the kind of high definition decorations kind of thing, but I don't know. It's just one of those like I'm you're already starting to limit the amount of ability that you have to be able to do anything on the map by making it to where I can no longer uh, have those slots available to me. And with as little equipment as you start out with, it's like you're using lots of slots for just decoration. And for console players, that's less of an issue nowadays on new generation consoles. But if you're playing this on an old gen console, you're gonna run into some issues very very quickly because half your slots are taken up by decorative items. So that's probably gonna make a lot of old gen players not really wanting to hop on this map right away. And it's a real shame because visually it's actually a very nice map. It's very got very good like color palette. It's very kind of serene. I think is the best word I can come up with. Um, I don't know. It's just one of those that it seems like to me it has a lot for every type of player out there. So if you're kind of a new player and you're wanting to get used to the game kind of thing, well then you've got all sorts of different size fields that are kind of squared off for the most part, where it's going to make it easy to be able to hop on and hire a worker and just kind of get to know things. But what's going to make it extremely difficult for those introductory players is you don't have a lot of equipment, so you're having to buy or lease a lot. And when you're first starting out, that's not really possible. You're having to lease almost everything. And your starting field has nothing in it as well. So you have nothing to really kind of ramp up your ability to earn money on this map. So it's just one of those like even on easy mode, you're gonna have a hard time. Really kind of getting traction and getting up and going. You're going to be very dependent on contracts. You're going to be very, you know, very much like dependent on every other source of income other than, being able to work on your own farm. Um, but the nice thing is that your farm is very wide open, so it allows you a lot of creativity at that location. And there's other locations throughout the map where you can kind of build it up and do that, but you're also very limited on the area in which you can build because of the lack of being able to purchase that area. So there's a lot of, there's a lot of pluses to this map, there's a lot of negatives to this map. So that's why I say it's kind of a push at a 3. Kind of middle of the road kind of map. And yeah, it's just one of those, other than the um, decorative items being taken up by slots. This is, again, I'm speaking from a console player, perspective. Um, that's really kind of a tough pill to swallow. Um, that all your, you know, at least even on new gen, a fourth of your slots are taken up by decorative items, kind of thing. So it's a little hard to swallow that one. But like I said, I'm pretty sure that you can go in and fudge around the ability to, remove those decorative items. You just have to go into the multiplayer and mess with it that way. That's what I think is how you can handle it. If you really want to play in this map and you have to get those slot counts down. But yeah, that's kind of where I stand on it. I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, following, doing all the things the algorithm enjoy you doing that shows you're engaged with this channel, enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.